Real Talk Show. I'm your host, George Nima. Today we have something special. It's called Filmmaker, people behind the scenes, and also to introduce to you although he's known for a couple months now, but my new co-host is Mr. Kirk Nurmi.
Hi, George. Welcome.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
I don't want to welcome him because due to COVID, it took us 2 months to shoot the scene together. So I just wanted to say to everybody, welcome Kirk Nurmi. This is George Nima with you, host, MAAP Real Talk Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back to MAAP Real Talk Show. With me today, we are honored to have 3 individual filmmakers in the state of Arizona and for the world, actually for the United States of America. I am honored and privileged, myself and Mr. Kirk Nurmi, to introduce you to Mr.
Sean Berube,
Murphy,
Anthony Hernandez.
3 filmmakers. Today, the subject is going to be about what they have planning to do, what are they doing in the future. And I'm going to start first, since he's on my right, not for any other reasons, with Sean. Sean, how are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome, man. Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank you for coming first and foremost. I want to tell the world and the viewers, today, which is life for me, I apologize to your wife and the twins. It's their birthday today.
Yes, my twins' 1-year birthday today.
And before we start the show, we're going to really sing happy birthday to them.
Okay.
And if you could give us their names. And
Hannah and Liam.
Hannah and Liam. So guys, let's go do this. I know this is unorthodox, but I have to do this for the missus. We on? Okay, here we go. Come on, guys.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hannah and Liam. Happy birthday to you. I'll be home soon, guys.
Bravo! Thank you for allowing us to have your dad, guys. I know one day you'll watch this and you're going to crack up. And that's what it's all about. I want to thank you so much again for coming and to the missus, because a lot of people would have canceled. And you didn't. That shows why the kind of character you are, sir, and why you're here. To me, I look at it like it's a short movie that I reviewed without a movie, without a cast. Your life has been very, very enormous, interesting.
It has.
It has a lot of interest, and I just knew you a short time, so I don't want the viewers to think, oh, he's pumping up with his buddy. We're not buddies, we became buddies. Now we are. I hope we are now. We worked together, and that's as far as it went, the extent of it. I want ladies and gentlemen to know, this is what we should be copying, the positive. The shakers and the movers, and that's what the show is about. And I want everybody to know a little bit about Sean, if you could run me back, about his life just a little bit, because it's hard for me to even begin. I don't know where to begin. It's so much interesting, to bring about. Can you tell me just a little bit about you, because military, police, and
Sure.
the whole 9 yards?
So, yeah, I'm born and raised in Massachusetts, and then after high school, I left for the Army, and I became a military policeman. Did that for 6 years, and let me tell you, it was a great experience. I got to go overseas, got to experience a lot of the Latin countries, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Panama.
Wow.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And after that, I then decided to continue my law enforcement career on the civilian side.
Wow.
So I applied with the Tucson Police Department. I actually applied with Border Patrol, Federal Prison, and Tucson Police Department. And
So whoever called you first, is that one of those?
well, let me tell you.
Okay, I want to know.
So I really wanted, I'm not going to lie, I really wanted Border Patrol.
Right.
And I went through the whole process, and part of the test for Border Patrol is you have to take either a Spanish test, because you need to be bilingual,
Yeah.
or you take an artificial language test to show you can learn a language, and they'll teach you Spanish. So I didn't really know enough Spanish, so I said, I'll take the artificial language test. Oh man, was that a tough test.
Oh boy, was it?
They give you like an hour and a half, and I was
never
there
knew
for
that.
the full hour and a half answering the question. And so I passed it though, and then they put me through the medical, and they checked my vision. I'm wearing contacts right now. I have bad vision, but with contacts it's 20/20.
Right.
But they said, no, we won't take you because of your vision. And I'm like, what? I can still do the job. So sorry, Border Patrol, you lost me.
They lost at that point.
Yeah.
Because you're a good man.
Yeah, so anyways, I ended up going with Tucson Police.
We got a report of a loud party Whose house is this? What's this?
That's my EpiPen.
Yeah, it looks like drugs to me.
Let me guess, you don't speak English.
No. Start Border Patrol for 1. What's up? I'm not fucking with you. You think that's funny?
And I've been doing that since 1999. And then in 2012, I should finish my military retirement also. So I went to the Air Force Reserves. This is a huge Air Force base where I was living, there in Montana. So I was like, hey, can I join the Air Force? I was in the Army, and they're like, sure. So I joined the Air Force also, and I got 6 more years of that, and I'll retire for that. And I just retired from the Tucson Police Department.
Yeah, I saw your celebration on Facebook and with your comrades, and that really looked spectacular.
Yeah.
But now that you shifted us from this, is there anything else you want to add? Being a police officer, like some nice stories happening in 20 years, like that is positive.
Oh wow, there's lots of positive. So being a police officer, part of it is getting involved with the community, and there's so many different organizations and events that we participate in, like Shop with a Cop, for example.
Right.
Every Christmas season, we get together with low-income families, and we have their kids come shop with the cop. So I get to meet these kids and walk around the stores with them, and we give them a certain budget that they can spend. And let me tell you, I don't get teary-eyed because it always breaks my heart. You would think these kids have the freedom to buy themselves toys. No, you know, I would say 99% of them, instead of buying stuff for themselves, they buy stuff for their family members.
Wow. That is a good story.
So yeah, that's one super positive.
Well, yeah, I mean, how do you think, given what's going on today, how do you think we bring more of that out, the officers? I could see the emotion in your eyes. You brought tears to my eyes. We have so many conflicts now with law enforcement, you know, the George Floyd incident, all those sort of things. How do you think departments can bring that out more forward so we can start all working together towards those kind of positive results?
So I think continuing to do what law enforcement agencies do, we just need to continue to work with the media so they broadcast these positive stories instead of continuously 24 hours a day broadcasting the same negative story. Because when you pump this negative image into people's brains 24/7, that's all you're gonna remember. It's like songs. You know so many songs because the radio just plays the same song over and over. It might not even be your favorite, but you just hear it so much on the radio. You hear it so much, you're like, oh my god, I know the words to this, and I don't even like the song. So it's kind of like the media. If the media would just pump out positive stories and reassuring stories to the public to let them know that law enforcement is
Well, that's
there
what we're
for
trying
you.
to do with this show. Show
Doing
some positiveness.
good things.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it would help, definitely.
Well,
Because we're out there doing it. It hasn't stopped. Just because the media wants to publicize this negative story and the very few negative incidents that happen with police officers across the country, the majority of the time, cops are out there, departments are out there doing great things with their communities, trying to make them better and trying to improve the relationship between the community and law enforcement.
Before we get into the acting part, because that's what the show is about, but I want to talk to Jesse as well. You have something to add about what's going on? And because I know you work at a hospital that has nothing to do with the movies now. Let's get to that in the next segment. You want to attribute something with what do you do?
Just like Sean says. So, you know, I'm involved a lot within the community, the lowrider community, and we do a lot of toy drives. Right now,
that's what I saw.
Yeah, right now we're doing Cruising to the Polls, where we're gathering, you know, all the Latin community and everybody out there to go and get everybody out to start doing their voting and stuff. And just like Sean says, it just needs to be put out there that, you know, they're always pointing at the negative stuff that the officers do.
Right.
They never look at the correct side, at the right side of it. Me coming from where I was at back in my days, me and Sean wouldn't be sitting here next to each other. You know what I mean? Yeah.
He'd be wearing some nice bracelets.
Exactly. I'd be running while he's chasing running. But that whole culture.
But you're so honest, though. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that whole culture has changed, especially in my mind.
Yes.
When I started doing more and more stuff for the community, especially when I got signed with my record label, when I started doing music, I was getting a lot of support from the officers, especially, you know, Phoenix PD, Scottsdale PD, LA PD. And when I started seeing the support, I was like, these guys ain't that bad. You know? I've been running all these years from these guys, and these guys are probably just trying to catch up and tell me, hey, let me get in that video or something. You know? I never thought of it in that direction.
That's a filmmaker talking.
Yeah, I never thought of it in that direction, you know. But just the negativity that they put out there is just wrong. It's not right. I mean, there are those that, you know, do veer in a total different direction, but then there's more of those officers that are out there to help the community. So I myself, I appreciate what Sean does out there. I appreciate what he's done for his community, and I just want to see more of that to keep continuing with people.
But to add more, what you're saying, I don't want to interrupt you because I want the viewers to know, you also carry a heavy load on your shoulders.
Yep.
That I watch you on Facebook. Is that okay to say?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because, you know, I follow you, as you know, and it's very intriguing to see so many things that you do. And it's beyond limitation. Like, the world doesn't know. That's why I was so happy and excited to have you here. And we almost didn't make it, if you remember, but yeah. I was forceful, ladies and gentlemen. I said, no, you better get here. Because the stuff that he does, it goes unnoticed. And one of the reasons I'm doing the show is to create the positiveness. And this is what it's all about. It's for him. So at the end of the day, that's what I wanted to do. So go ahead, continue. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
So, well, just to start out a little bit, I grew up in a very, very bad neighborhood coming from East LA. One of my first things that I did was I somehow got mixed up with the wrong people back in the days, and I ended up stumbling onto a movie set. I literally stumbled onto a movie set, and that movie set was Colors.
Whoa.
And when I stumbled onto it, one of the guys asked me if I wanted to be part of it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm a little punk kid from the streets. I'm like, yeah, sure. Didn't know nothing about, okay, what are you gonna pay me? I was just like, I want to be in the film, you know, whatever.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I ended up getting away from it because during that time there was a lot of violence when that movie came out. A lot of people got hurt. That was actually where I ended up starting my career. I went and started doing I decided to get into it. I got a nice part in it. And then, long story short, I decided to follow into my passion, which was music. And I produced a few songs on my own in my little home studio that I had at home. And I literally lost a beat, a CD that I made. And I was so hurt because I was like, oh man, I took hours and hours to make this song, hours and hours. And I lost the CD at back then it was a tape.
Tape, yeah.
I lost it at a rest area.
Oh.
So I'm on my way to New Mexico, to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I had to turn on the radio, and I hear my beat on the radio. Some guy found it, and they were using it to advertise for a car show they were having in Albuquerque.
That is.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing I could do about it because
cold,
I didn't have, I didn't have copyrights to the music. I didn't have nothing. Yeah. But I did call the radio. I was like, yo, this is my. And the guy tells me, you know how many people call and tell us the same thing? Bye. And I was like, did he just hang up on me? I'm going to Albuquerque. So I literally drove to Albuquerque, and when I got there, I met a filmmaker and an artist who is signed with BMI. And he was like, that's your beat? He's like, well, how about me and you make a song together out of it? And I'm like, why me, you know? I just made the beat, and he's like, let's make a song. So he brought me into his studio in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Right.
Recorded this song, and it actually, I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Art Laveau. It ended up on the Art Laveau show on the Love Jams. That was my first song out there. So anyways, I got all excited. I got my music going. Then I started having some problems within my family, problems within myself. Because I'm getting, growing older, moving on. And I had Sean, not literally Sean, but the other Sean, started chasing me around town because I was being a bad boy. And I decided that was not the path that I wanted to continue doing, A lot of people know out there, I've done my things, I've gotten into some problems, I changed my life around.
Well, you turned it around.
Yeah, I completely turned 360 on it.
We'll come back to this. I want to speak to Anthony. Anthony Hernandez, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm also pretty much a lot involved with the community. I have a history kind of as colorful as Jesse's. Had that bad boy past. I've worked a lot in the community with the chronically homeless, the substance abuse issues throughout the homeless population throughout the valley for about 15 years. Just recently I changed career. There's immense burnout in that kind of career. So I changed and started working at the hospital with Jesse. As far as acting, yeah, I mean, I kind of fell into that. It wasn't something that I wasn't seen coming or anything to that nature. I got asked to be on a set of scrutiny and did it, and kind of, it was natural.
Wow.
And that's where it kind of started. I mean, with the colorful past that I have, I never thought of being in the chair where I am today. You know, and it's amazing. You know, I have a lot to look forward to and a lot to move on towards.
Wow, this is incredible. So Jesse, like, gave you the idea. Okay, we're gonna take a break, if you don't mind, folks. We're gonna come back and discuss the good stuff that we're here for. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall return.
Do not associate with strays outside of Opulent.
Did you read the Interpol report?
Oh my God.
Sure sounds like this is the same man, don't you think?
A body found. Here in Opulent, shot in a van.
He wants me to get a job right away, or he's gonna take my car and cut me off.
You have something to say? With the bank's foreclosing on my place, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do.
Hey, do you think the rumors are true? What rumors are those? Andre being a Russian mob boss?
The meeting is set. Every boss needs to be there.
There is a mole in our circle.
We have no choice but to eliminate them.
He promised me last night he'd be up early for job hunting today.
What is it with Russians and body parts?
The sooner we start this, the sooner we make our own legit business. Nothing personal. I just can't risk you outing.
I was in a bad place once. He gave me this job.
We have new employee?
I owe him a lot.
Yes, sir.
There is nothing more manly than having power and money. I already have both.
Hello? I gotta go.
You know, maybe something Andre should know?
I only bet when I know I will win.
I want to make sure the entertainment's loud enough so none of the conversations from the meeting can be overheard.
I'm not like you, дорогой братишка. I have no need for secrets.
We all have secrets.
Come back to me.
Drugs and guns. It's a felony offense.
Don't get caught.
When it all comes crashing down, remember, I warned you.
And welcome back to MAAP Real Talk Show. I'm your co-host, Kirk Nurmi, and we're here with Sean, Jesse, and Anthony. We're picking up the conversation here with some great, talented actors. And Jesse and Anthony, I want to follow up on something you guys said before we cut break, because you talked about these moments in your life, right, where things could have gone a much different way, right? And what I got out of what I heard from both of you is that you had a passion, whether it's for music or acting or helping people. Tell me about how you use that passion to kind of follow a different path, and how you bring that passion to whatever form of art you bring forth.
Well, for me, I've always had. I mean, if you look at me, I would look like probably your typical little gangster walking around here and all that. But I actually I have a big heart when it comes to people that are homeless, children that are, that are in need. A lot of people they see the exterior and they're like, oh,
No, I knew that. That's why I picked up on you.
Yeah, keep away this type of person, this and that. But when I started helping out doing charity work, it was to me, it was to bring some sort of closure to what I had been going through in my life. I ain't gonna lie, I hurt a lot of people. I did things that I regret from back then to this moment now. And my way was to bring closure into myself, was to give back to the community any way I could. And I started out with, we were doing children's camps for children's here in Phoenix, people that were living in low income. And I would bring a bunch of my buddies over. I would do barbecues for them at their projects, bring DJs out to play music for the kids, bring water slides. I just started doing a lot of things like that. And in a way, I guess I kind of also did it because I didn't have a lot of that stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So just seeing the children enjoying it took me back into a childhood that I'd never had. So it was pretty awesome for me in that aspect. I started working a lot with Scottsdale PD. They were bringing me in to do a lot of concerts and shows for them.
Okay.
At that time, I had just barely gotten signed on with Universal Records with some of my music. And so they were just like, well, how much is it? I'm like, there's no cost. I'll come out, I'll bring some artists, and we'll perform.
Awesome.
So, you know, I brought out some big name rappers out there to come out. We did some shows for the city of Scottsdale, Chandler.
Wow.
I did some stuff up in Tucson, but a lot of it for me has just been just to have closure to myself for all the stuff that I did back in my days. Some I don't regret, because if I regretted some of those things, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Some of that made me grow to be the person who I am now.
I get that. It sounds like there's a lot of heart in what you bring, like a lot of connection to the people, you know?
Correct.
And Anthony, would you say the same thing? Or?
I think so. For me, it all started probably back in 2007. I finally was at the end of my rope. Just got out of prison, still out there doing the thing. And I checked myself into one of the local rehabs or detox centers here.
Okay.
Right.
At that time, it's Community Bridges. And being there that night, I met with some individuals that were working behind the counter that had kind of had the same background as I did, but didn't have the education type of thing. And he said something to me, and it stuck. You know, he told me, he was like, you know, you're never going to change unless you change it.
That's right.
And it stuck with me throughout the years. And since that day, I met a couple people. They were like, why don't you come to a meeting? It's every Saturday at 7 o'clock. So I did. I started going. At first, I was like, I don't want to go to a meeting. I mean, I don't want to hear somebody preach at me. So I went to the meeting, and I met this individual named Johnny Casas. And he was like, you know what, stay sober 6 months. Come work for me. I'm going to hire you.
Sweet.
So I went through the whole deal. It was the toughest 6 months of my life. You know, but I did it, and he kept his word, and he hired me. And right there, I was like, it's just a paycheck, and one door to another. But I found myself being able to share my experience and the traumas that I went through, the drug use and things of that nature, and to inspire someone else to move forward. So at that point, my passion, it fueled me just to see somebody smile at the worst of the worst, at the bottom of the bottom. To see that person smile and catch something that was said, you know, and it drew me through a 15-year career with CBI.
And what is CBI, by the way?
Yeah, CBI is Community Bridges. It's one of the biggest substance abuse behavioral programs in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it. I just think the way you said it. Okay.
Let me tell you
yeah,
that.
That's one of the big. I know about it.
So
I'm sorry.
I mean, I was there for 15 years. I resigned, and then I came to work with Jesse at the hospital. But yeah, I mean, the passion to see somebody smile is what sparks my drive. You know what I mean? Because not a lot of people smile at the bottom, and they need that extra touch just to show that there is.
Nobody knows that.
Nobody knows that.
That's powerful, and you bring. I'm assuming all of you to some extent. I mean, even Sean, bring that to the table in their art. And you wind up working with a guy like this.
But through my career, I mean, with the PD aspect, we do training, the CIT trainings, where we go out and we do role plays on different scenarios, suicidal people or people in psychosis, jumping off a bridge and things of that nature.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want you to know this setting was done by accident. It was not filmmaking.
Oh, that's perfect.
This is, now that they
relate.
brought it here, I had like 8 people that were supposed to be here indirectly, but I already felt like some of them might drop, and they did. So this was purely an accident, and you saw I posted, you replied. I want the folks out there to know it's not a setup where we have a police officer.
Right. But it's a perfect accident, George.
Listen, previous
it's a perfect accident, right?
Previous defense lawyer. You know what I mean? Like what the odds
We didn't know we were going to have the attorney.
I just want the viewers to know. You never know. I want the viewers out there to know that this was not done. Like, I didn't set that up. That was purely coincidence. The universe brought this table together for you. Maybe somebody out there that's thirsty. Somebody's out there that needs it. Somebody that needs help, and that smile that he mentioned, it really gave me chills, because people don't realize what this smile does. Folks, enough with this. We're already under COVID. Everybody's worried with the virus. Yes, it might kill us, but for God's sakes, we're still human behind. So we have to understand that too. On this, today, I am so honored. You left me speechless, like we're supposed to be talking about movies. You took me somewhere else with the show. And that's also, you hijacked it with your spirit, if that makes sense, in a good way, that you brought in Anthony as well. And I'm so proud and honored to have you, sir. For the stuff you just mentioned, like I could write a book.
Yeah, it's
ahead,
great. And that's what I was asking though. Those passion, those connections, right? That must be something you also bring to your film, whether you're behind the camera or in front of the camera. And, you know, Sean's seen, we were talking off camera, he's seen a lot of people struggling, and he brought that emotion to it. Tell me a little bit about that. Maybe Sean, you could speak to that, how you bring some of your life experience in this criminal justice process, some experience I have. How do you bring that to your roles in your movies?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm kind of glad that I chose accidentally, I guess I'll say, to pursue acting at this point in time in my life, because now I do get to bring all that life experience with me when I do my different roles, and it makes it a lot easier to get into character and remember a certain moment I was involved in real life, and subconsciously bring that to the camera, to the role of the character I'm playing in whatever film I'm doing. And it's been super helpful. A lot of actors that don't have that experience, you know, they have to go do their research and say they get a role to play a cop. They've never played a cop. So now they have to go do their research, maybe do a ride along with a police department for like a few months just to understand what they're going through, so they can bring that into their character. And luckily, I already got that. It's like the back of my hand, it's second nature, so I can just automatically bring that to the role without having to do the research. So it's definitely very helpful, and I think it shows in my different roles that I've played.
Yeah, but would you also say even the people on the other side, the people in the stories, the kids that bought presents for their, you know, for their family members, and even the people you arrest in some of the hard stories, does that come into play as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Stories, yeah.
Yeah. With a 26-year law enforcement career, I've been able to interact with pretty much every walk of life out there. You know, the good and the bad. You name it. You know, substance addicts. You know, people who chose to go with gangs, murder suspects. You name it. You get to interact with so many people with mental health issues, and because you deal with all those different behaviors and scenarios, like I said, you can tap into that and bring it into your character and even assist. I've been on sets where they're like, hey, can you like advise on this? And it comes in very handy on law enforcement shows, because I've been on a lot of, not a lot, but I've been on certain sets where they hired these actors to play cops, and you can tell they don't have a clue what they're doing, and their gun's pointing that way at their butt as they're running that way. I'm like,
that is so true. That's not how it works. That's not how it works, huh?
That's so true.
I was like, no, cop wouldn't let the suspect hold his gun for a minute, you know? Come on, man. So yeah, it helps out a lot, and they appreciate having that expertise on sets, and they like to tap into that. Hey, how would they stack up in a team and enter this building to clear it? So it definitely comes in handy to have that experience and bring it to the different stories that I participate in.
So that explains, how did you do a gangster movie?
So my buddy here, Jesse, I remember a time back in like 2008.
Yeah.
I was chasing Jesse, and then when you asked me to play,
Jesse isn't even trying to deny it. He's like, that could have been me.
And then when you said, "Hey man, I need to play this gangster, you know, Russian gangster," I was like, "All right." So I remembered how Jesse, you know, his behaviors and how he handled it, and then I just tapped into that. And so when you see me on camera playing this Russian boss in The Dark Side of Opulent 3, basically you're seeing Jesse come out of me.
So now he's Marlowe.
Oh, right. But no, for real, that's kind of you know, what I did tap into for the character. I read your script, and I was like, all right. So then you do your homework. When you get your script as an actor, you learn you need to do your homework. Acting is not easy, guys. It is a lot of work that goes into it. And when you get your script, now you have to read it, understand, you know, each scene each emotional feeling the character should be feeling at that moment. You know, you write down notes and you try to tap into, like I said, my experiences, put it into my character for each scene. So when I do perform it, I can bring that out and hopefully the audience sees that. And I can tell you, working with George here as a director, he ain't no slouch. He'll let you know. He's a wonderful guy, but he will let you know if you're not on target. And he'll be like, no, I need more! I need more! I want you to be like Jesse!
I didn't even know you saw that side.
Yeah, but also with enough gratitude, not that he brought the subject, I wasn't going to bring it, but you have to also remember, you memorize a lot of lines, sir. So you need to let the audience know. Like you said, it's not easy. It is not easy. I'm the director and I can memorize those 17 pages. So it was a lot of pages. You showed up into the scene and you just crushed it, sir. And that also cost money, so you cut the cost in half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was like debating like it was going to be another day and another day. So just, and also I could say the same thing about Jesse, even though he showed up a little bit late. But he did a magnificent job. Well, the people know. There's 80 people on set, we can't lie. So when you did your part and he did his part, you guys like took the, also for you, you took the character and you owned it. Do you understand?
And I appreciate the challenge.
And this is very hard to explain to actors sometimes when they own it, because then in the middle of it they mess up the next scene. So I kept my mouth shut, if you notice, until you finished, because you were carrying it, and I only had, you lived to the expect, and the writer did a magnificent job, you know, George O'Bart, you know, Buzz. He took the script, the old script away, because it was already, can I use the word hack? Somebody like uploaded it online or something bad happened to it, so we had to rechange the whole third, like the movie, and he wrote you in, by the way, just to let you know, after the fact. This is the craziest part. And then when he was doing it and I was reading it, I said, oh my God, this guy, can he deliver? And sure you did, sir. And you, however, when you showed up the last time, when you were like, he wrote it for you, so you gotta thank him. How he saw your audition, he doesn't know you, so we're trying to battle with this, because your role was a lead role. It wasn't like a goofball, it's like 112 dialogue, am I correct?
Oh yeah, it was a lot.
It was like a huge dialogue.
Yep.
So it wasn't something to mess with the last minute. But just to let the audience know, since you brought the subject up, I have to explain to you about your enormous contribution, sir. Your skills, it's undeniable, your showmanship, your effort on the set. It was the whole crew will tell you not 1 minute was wasted. You know what I mean? But when we say 1 minute wasted,
I absolutely
it's $700 a minute. People don't realize, like, when people just think it's a joke. It's not. And you carried your task on hand relentlessly, like beyond measures. Just to let you know, not that we mentioned. Same thing goes for you, Jesse. I was very impressed with your scenes and how you delivered your.
And I'm sure.
And he was awkward. You'll see it in the movie, folks. The dark side of Apple 3. It's like, I don't know how to, it's almost done. We almost in post-production finishing style. But I just want you to know, I feel like I know them because I've watched them so many times. So I feel like I know you're good enough from that part of the world. And I don't want to leave my friend Anthony. So what movies are you in lately?
Right now, we'll be starring in Jesse's movie.
Which
Redemption.
is? Redemption?
Yeah. And then I've also did Scrutiny.
Scrutiny.
Spite.
Spite. Is it Spite?
Spite.
Oh, Spite.
All three of us were in Spite.
Yeah.
You in that movie? All of you? Is that a coincidence or what?
I guess so.
No, seriously. You guys are scaring me, okay? You are in the same movie?
Yeah, Spike.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I remember going to wardrobe fitting. Yeah. He showed up. And I was like,
well, you can mention a little bit about any movie. See, I don't have clicks. Even people that like or don't like or like me. I'm not about liking. I'm in my 60s. I just want to plug the new up and coming filmmakers, and you guys, it. So bring it on, man. What movie is that? Who's behind the movies? Who's behind Redemption, for instance?
So right now behind Redemption, I actually have Anthony. He's going to be one of the supporting actors in that movie.
Nice.
I have Danny Trejo, who's going to play my father.
Oh, Danny Trejo?
And
I like Danny
I have
Trejo.
Noel G. that's going to be playing my arch enemy in the movie.
Oh yeah.
So and it's based on my life story.
That's I heard that's the life story, but that's the coolest dude to have on your movie.
Oh yeah.
There's another guy in your movie, like that recognizable face that I saw a poster. Is that a different movie?
No, that's Noel G.
Noel G. Yeah, I've seen him before. I don't know him.
Yeah.
But he looks familiar.
He's in a lot.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah. So this will be my first my first film that I write, and
well, that's why I want you to.
Yes, it'll be my first film that I'm writing that I'll be helping produce. I'm really excited over it. I mean, it's just so much that's going. It's got love betrayal from when I was a child all the way till from going just like Anthony's past. I had a past also in prison. Then it comes out to now coming out and doing well. Goes from that, from me doing music to doing films, but it's got a whole mirage of different characters. I was just barely speaking with Sean, so I think Sean's going to be part of this film also here.
Really?
So I was just having
see this. How about me? How about the old geezer? Don't you have somebody old running or something?
Dude, I can't wait to see the scene in the movie where you go knocking on that door of the radio station saying, "You got my beat!"
Right?
That's gonna be like, oh, this is so it's already off the ground, so the folks will be waiting for it.
Yeah, we're in post-production right now, or pre-production, should I say?
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to having it done by early January and put out already by that time. So.
Good job, man. Will, I'm so proud of you on this one. That's hard to do. You know, you saw how hard to put a movie together. People think if you want to elaborate, you're welcome.
Yeah.
It's not
and
easy.
actually, the thing about it was I had already written the story.
Right.
I was talking to Anthony on the way here. A couple of months back, we had moved some stuff out of one of my storages, and I threw the whole story away. I didn't even know. I went looking for boxes, and my son tells me, I think we tossed it in the trash. And it was like 162 pages.
Oh, so you had to do a rewrite?
I got a couple of writers together in the last couple of days, and we started rewriting the whole thing all over. And it's ready. We're ready to go.
So you're ready to film? You got gearing?
Well, I hope this ain't like your beat, where like in a month we see
a
movie.
Yeah,
that's my story.
Then we're gonna go pay them a visit now.
Everything's been already copywritten. Everything's been. We've already gotten everything taken care of. But yeah, I'm very, very excited with it. I'll be heading out to Idaho, and I believe the first of the month, to go film season 2 of Scrutiny. I'm waiting. I'm waiting desperately to see The Dark Side of Opulent. Hopefully, see when that's coming out.
Where does Scrutiny air, so everybody can tune in there?
What's that again?
Scrutiny is on Amazon
Prime.
Oh,
okay.
You can catch it on Amazon Prime. We also did Fire and Rain, which is another production we did that's also on Amazon Prime.
Okay. Yeah, that one is on Amazon Prime. Just hit Netflix, and it's on
that's Scrutiny.
Scrutiny.
Yeah, you want to talk to
Scrutiny and Fire and Rain.
Oh, Fire and Rain.
Yeah,
folks.
So look for that on Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
And both films, they actually have Vivica Fox,
Angela
Weinbush.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a few A-list actors in there. So
well, we're gonna have to take a commercial. Somebody has to pay for this. Folks, we'll be right back. Thank you. Stay tuned.
You live in opulent. Nothing too earth-shattering ever happens here.
Different house, different family head, same clockwork schedule.
Jealous ex-boyfriend.
I need to be certain who I can trust and cannot trust around here.
Hello, what is this?
Welcome back. This is George again, the terror behind the scenes. Just to let you know, this is our last segment, but first, before, and I always do first, second, or third, I always mention the people behind the scenes. And we cannot, folks, as you know, how hard it is to be in the back since I've been there for years. I'd like everybody to thank Mr. James Thornton and Mrs. Elena Thornton, guys. And today he took the direction away from me. He directed the whole scene. He set up all that stuff. I just want to tell him. So today he's got the honor of being also a director. I want to thank you guys so much for it looks like effortless, but it's a lot of work, as you see when you add or subtract or whatever. Just want to thank them so much from the bottom of my heart. But before we get into the next episode, to give him a little time, the reason why we're also here with Sean, I want Sean to explain. There's something really extraordinary that this cast that is doing. Please let me know about this movie, please. That's what we're waiting for.
So,
what's the name of it?
As you know, I went from law enforcement to acting, and
Right.
the Arizona film community, independent film community, is huge, and it is bustling, and I want to show some love for that. My first film was created down in Tucson, Arizona.
Right.
It's a horror film called A Cry in the Night, and it was special, dear to my heart, because it's my first one, but the director and the producer came together, and because so many people in Arizona put their time, provided locations, everybody was just volunteering and providing all this stuff for free. The director and producer just finished the movie, and instead of just going straight to distribution, they wanted to give an opportunity to show the cast and crew the final product. And they wanted to do it in Arizona and Tucson at the Loft Cinema in April, but COVID shut everything down, so the next best thing they could do is on September 4th, which is Labor Day weekend, at 6 p.m. it's going to go live on YouTube Live for free. And it's just for the weekend, so you can watch it live at 6 p.m. on September 4th, and after they're going to do a Q&A with the director and producer and everything. Other than that, during the weekend, you can just go on YouTube and watch it with the links that we can provide. And then it's being taken down, and then they're going to decide to go the film circuit.
Can you tell them the link, please, right there, the link?
Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. It'll have to be in the description. It's, YouTube has those weird links, but it's Dark Legends Productions YouTube channel. And if you just type in Dark Legends Production under the search under YouTube, it should bring you right to it.
Oh, terrific! I have it on standby too. Right now, the link you sent me, I put it on standby. I'm going to watch it as well. So just I can tell you, I can't wait.
One other thing I got into was video editing since I started my my life in the acting journey here, and because I enjoy it so much, I asked the producers if I could provide and create a trailer for the movie. They said, "Sure, we'll give you the opportunity." So they did, and they said, we obviously the only ones that will approve it. We have to approve it, and we are the ones that have to put it out there to the public to see. So pleasantly surprised, I provided this trailer, and it came out amazing.
Nice.
They loved it, and now you can watch the trailer for the movie on there.
So now you're an editor too.
Where can we see the trailer?
Yeah,
your trailer.
So you can go to either my YouTube channel where it's posted, my social media, Dark Legends
When you say mine,
Productions.
is it Sean what? Sean?
Yeah, it's basically just Sean Berube. So, just my name, Sean Berube, B-E-R-U-B-E.
Yep.
And you go to YouTube, you can find the trailer there. You can find it under Dark Legends Productions there, or any of our social media, we're posting it on there. And the trailer will really get you excited for the energy this movie is going to bring. And it's perfect timing because we're coming around Halloween, so to get us in the mood for Halloween, a lot of murder, blood, and gore. If you're into that kind of thing, you're gonna love this movie.
I remember a story of love and betrayal.
What am I doing to you? Just stay the hell away from me.
You're going to burn in hell, Maria.
Marquis, shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you. Enough!
Hey!
We need to pull it together. There's something out there. Why? What are you doing? Saborini, I've got a gun!
just terrific. Great. Anybody else?
I was just listening to him about editing and getting into editing, so it must, I'm guessing you got that training from editing all your body cam stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was perfect.
He just looked at me like, what?
You're not supposed to say that.
That was the blow.
No, actually, I love Sean, what he does, and I'm very proud that that's coming out, man. I can't wait to see that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm really into horror.
I'm more proud that you guys have a movie together now after this.
Right?
This show created this little part somehow.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to
and I'm the only one that is not even in it.
We can cast you as
old man running?
Old man on the prison yard.
Prison fish.
Wow.
Yeah, the prison fish.
You know, when I beat the
I'll do a small role,
and then edit my body cam, you'll be the subject that I
I'll do whatever small role. Go ahead.
No. I'm
So,
just thinking about the scene Sean was
and
creating.
I want to say the Arizona community, guys, the filmmaking community is huge.
Yes.
Please support us. We, it takes a lot of money, a lot of hard work, a lot of time to make these movies, and we don't always have that huge budget here to that $100 million Warner Brothers budget to make a film. So all the support we can get for you is greatly appreciated. We're very proud of what we make and what we put out there for. I know this movie, Dark Side of Opulent 3, is going to be amazing. We're all excited to see it.
to be a part of it. Also, since you mentioned, we already have part 1 is already out for the public. It was already released. Part 1. Part 2 will be March 2nd of 2021. And that's also, again, because of COVID. We can't even do theater. We can't do anything. We don't know what we're going to do. But the third one is already done, almost done, thanks to Tony. He's doing a wonderful job so far. So the movie that you guys are in, it should be out very soon. You're going to be very, very excited. It's a great feature, I could tell you. You did a wonderful job with that set.
And
I didn't know what else. If you have anything else to add, you want to plug something, Anthony?
What you got?
Like Sean said, support your Arizona casting teams. We're out here working, doing the best we can. Any support would be greatly appreciated.
They changing lives, folks. That's what lives. What you said earlier, man, it got to me because that means a lot. People don't realize what this smile does. It's incredible. Yeah. Even the officers, they need that smile too. Yeah. Yeah. They have hardship all day long, and you'll support as much as you can and be a proud American. I say it publicly. I'm Jordanian American. I've been here 46 years, but I will die for this country. I love my country, and that's what's important. It has nothing to do with policies or political or whatever. You want to protect yourself, you protect your family, and this is the place to be. And that's what it's all about. When you talk about safety, so thank you for your services, sir, is one of the reasons people don't realize what safety is when you're walking down the street and nobody's there. I like to see who you're going to call, which 911 is going to be.
True.
When things go down, because that's the only time we Americans know. And from that perspective, I want to thank you all for the changes you guys doing. In some sense, it's tougher than his, because you guys had to go through a turmoil to change. So he's always been good. He's done 30, 40 years of it. You guys changed for the better, and that's what's important. And I really appreciate all three of you today for sitting on the same stage, telling the world what they should do, from whatever the background they're coming from. And that's so important. And again, I want to thank you for I know you don't like this. Even though you're a defensive, he doesn't like
what a way to preface the sentence,
Yeah,
I know you're not going to like
he doesn't like it because I say he wants me to say former defensive attorney. But he is an attorney, right? He went to school. Yes, you might not carry the lines, but in my eyes, you're an attorney. You studied hard. You've worked hard, even though whatever the reason might be. I just want to tell you for giving us the opportunity to be on our humble show. Because I know you above it a little bit, but I just want you to know,
not at all.
Coming down, sir, to help us out, help the newcomers in the movies, helping the show, help us with the crew because they're doing the same job. This is Mr. Kirk Nurmi, our first show together. A round of applause for everybody. This is our first show together, although it's been for 2 months. We've been trying to do this. Welcome aboard.
And gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for bringing your hearts and what you do in the community and everything else. It was really great to see not only you guys as filmmakers, but as human beings that are trying to change the community. And I think that's what a lot of art and performance can do. And I just appreciate you guys as a citizen of Arizona and someone who appreciates that passion and that heart-centered life. I really appreciated spending some time with all you guys.
Thank you, guys. Again, this is MAAP Real Talk Show. That's what it's all about. MAAP Real Talk Show with your host, George Neiman, and my co-host, Kirk Nurmi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, host, guests, Sean, Jesse, and Anthony. God bless you guys for coming in for your contribution. So long, everybody.